Hello, everybody in the Love Left Me Forever audience. I decided I wanted to put out a video tonight just to get something out there. It's been a few days, and I just haven't put anything out. I kind of feel guilty about it. I dealing with an energy crisis. I definitely am not depressed. It's just going through a lot of changes, doing a lot of sleeping that I don't need to be doing. I'm just kind of lost right now. I'm overall, I'm still up. I'm not having this very negative, depressing thinking that I was having last year, and I'm still excited about the future. But I just want to get something out there. I'm going to say that I think YouTube is probably the most difficult platform to be using. I have a difficult time keeping up with all those comments. Some of the comments show up in my email, and then other comments show up underneath the video, and then I get notifications. So I know I'm missing comments. It's just a constant battle of keeping up with comments and trying to reply in a timely manner. And then some people, they seem to disappear, and then I find them later. So I just wish YouTube could come up with some way where all the comments would be just in one location. So I'm having a very hard time dealing with that. I wanted to do a call out for people. Like I said, I have openly criticized Alan Roger Currie in the past, and I've said his books are very good. The books are what changed my life. If I wouldn't have read his book, Mode 1, I would not have. I've had that sexual experience back on December 30th of last year. But I want to hear somebody that has had coaching with Alan Roger Currie, somebody that has physically sat in a room with him, or you did video coaching. I'm talking about that expensive coaching he said costs thousands of dollars. In the 3 years that I used to follow his work, before he died this November, it'll be 3 years. I don't remember anybody ever coming on and saying, hey, I took coaching from Alan Roger Currie, changed my life. And so if you're out there, I want to hear from you, because it sure didn't help me. Not his coaching. Like I said, the books were fine, the books, the podcast, but him, he was useless as a coach. And I had written down something, so that's what I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear people that have seen him in person, paid thousands of dollars, and I want to hear the results. I want to hear your bona fide results of what you got out of face-to-face coaching or video coaching with Alan Roger Currie. I wrote this down. It's just something that's come to mind. A coach, any kind of coach, a dating coach, sports coach, let's just use a dating coach, relationship coach, that has what you want. Let's say they have what you want. They have a girlfriend. They have sex partners. They're getting what they want. If they can't transform you, if what they're teaching you is not helping you get what you want, they are worthless. And you should immediately cease to see them. So if that person that's getting what they want, they can't come up and they can't help you get what you want in a timely manner. When I say timely manner, at the most 6 months. Realistically, it should be a month. It should be 3 months. If that coach can't help you, that coach is not worth, how can I say it? Worth a shit. I'll just come out and say it. I'm not going to respect such a coach. And that also applies to therapists and counselors. If you're seeing a counselor and they can't deliver the results in 3 months, 4 months, then you're throwing your money away, and they're crooks. But I want to hear from those of you people, you guys that had coaching with Alan Roger Currie. I want to hear the results. Another thing that I wrote down about mental illness. A lot of people think mental illness is just mystery, that something goes wrong with people's minds and brains, and they start hearing voices, and they become serial killers or whatever, child molesters, or they go out and all the bizarre things. It's nothing but lies, and it's all fiction. All mental illness is caused by our thoughts. Basically, I wrote this down. All mental illness is caused by wanting something that you don't have and that you need, and you don't believe you can have it. That is a definition of mental illness. Wanting something that you desperately need, desperately want to have, and you don't believe you can have it and can't achieve it. That is the source of all suffering and all mental illness in the world. Mental illness does not have a biological cause. Your brain doesn't go haywire and turn you into a serial killer or some kind of monster. I'm just kind of jumping around here because I just want to get something out. Like I said, I've been in bed. I don't really know what is going on. Okay, I'm just basically having a hard time staying motivated. I'm not depressed. I'm not angry like I was. I guess I'm 67. Maybe that's some. I know I got my weight down to about 168. I eat well. I exercise, but something is keeping me fatigued. I've been sleeping 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or I stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning, and part of the reason is I don't have a full-time job like I used to. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I haven't tried any more contacts trying to meet a woman. The woman that I had the sexual encounter with, she did respond on the Fling website the other day. She just checked in with me and just said, "Hi, how am I doing?" And I replied back, and she hasn't replied back. I mean, I'm not gonna pursue her anymore. I don't feel led to have another encounter with her unless she offers it. But it was good that she acknowledged me. So she's still out there. The purpose of Alan Roger Currie's Mode 1, and like I said, I am not the author of Mode 1. I mean, I give him credit for his books, but I do not give him credit for coaching. And Alan has said this many times. The purpose of Mode 1 is not to get laid primarily. The purpose of Mode 1 is to ask a woman for sex directly, to the point, within 90 seconds. In other words, you meet a woman, you get to talk. I mean, if you start talking to her and she's giving off these bad vibrations, and you don't do it because you sense there's something wrong, or she's negative, or maybe she's upset, maybe she's hurt. But once you talk to them for a minute and a half, and you feel attracted to them, then you come out and ask them in whatever way you come up with, about just directly asking for sex, or whatever choice of words. You can use X-rated words or non-X-rated words. But the main purpose is to do the asking and not worry about it. In other words, the number one purpose of Mode 1 is to overcome your fear, approach the woman, tell her that you want to fuck her, if that's what you want to say, and deal with the aftermath without guilt, without fear. In other words, you feel the fear and you do it anyway. There was a book, which I've never read, by some woman named Susan Jeffries. I'm not going to read it because she's a psychologist, but it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. But that's what the purpose of Mode 1 is to express your sexual desires to a woman plainly and to the point. And if she says yes, great. If she doesn't say yes and says no or flat out rejects you, then you just move on. So the sexual part, the sexual component, is a secondary benefit. So basically, for the last 45 years, until to the end of the year of last year, I have been tortured and a victim to everything that I think, every thought, every memory, every encounter in my past, every rejection. I have not been able to release myself, and these emotions have been stored into my body, and I'm constantly being tortured by the memories and constantly in a state of rage. And the reason I'm looking down, I'm having to keep looking at my notes. So that's no longer the case. I mean, I still get angry. I'll still bite somebody's head off from time to time, but I'm not a victim like I was to these thoughts, because I feel it's possible now to get the things that I want. You know, if a sexual encounter or to be able to form a relationship with a female, I believe these things are possible now. For the last 40 years, they were not possible. If I knew what I knew now, if I had the confidence and the feelings and the knowledge I have now when I was in my 20s and 30s, I would be able to have probably any woman that I wanted. Okay? When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was powerless. I didn't have any power as a man or any skill with women. As far as Alan Roger Currie, like I said, I hate to keep bashing, but he is only a coach. He was only a coach for those who needed a slight push. Okay, he was not a coach for somebody like me or somebody that had mental health problems or somebody that's angry. And Alan used to say, I don't work with men who have a history of abusing women or criminal records or assault. And that's pussy level, because those are the men that you want to work with. Those are the men that need the help, not the people who haven't assaulted women or those who have not hurt women. Those are the guys that is a test to Motor One. Can you help them guys? Can you turn those guys' lives around? And no, he could not. So I have a love-hate relationship with this man. I've only started looking at his material again within the last 3 months. I didn't listen to him for 2 years after he died because I lost total respect for him. Like I always said, a coach that cannot help you get what you want, you're just throwing your money away, and you should abandon them after the first session. You don't take 1 session, 3 sessions, 4 sessions. Somebody can't help you, and you don't feel like you're going to get helped in the first session. Abandon them. If you're inner state, when I say inner state, I'm talking about the way you feel when you wake up in the morning, from the way you feel throughout the day. If your inner state is one like mine has been, it's negative. You're depressed. You're resentful. You want to get even. You're jealous of other people. All you feel is negativity. Anything you do, any kind of action that you take in that state is going to net a negative result or no results. Now, I've known that for years. And the pussy level teachers that I've talked about, pussy level teachers that you find like at Hay House, or Tony Robbins is a example. Mike Dooley, just all kinds of pussy level teachers out there. They don't help the people in negative states. Okay, these are the people that don't get help. But the point is, as long as you're in these states of mind and you're powerless, you can look at me and you can look at my life. You can look at my videos. I got about 100 videos y'all haven't seen. I keep saying I'm going to get them back up, and it's just basically it's a slow process. I got to re-listen to them. And I'm basically lucky if I have 6 or 7 hours that I'm up a day right now. It's not depression. I don't know what it is, but I'm lucky if I have 5 or 6 hours where I'm up. I practice my guitar a little bit. I read. I might go out and do some door dashing. I'm getting ready for my class reunion next month on March 22nd. So basically, I can barely get 7 hours up without having to go back and lay down. So I need to see a doctor. I don't feel any pain. You know, I'm doing push-ups and leg lifts and walking 3 miles a day. But when I get through doing them, I feel good for a while, and then I just sink back down into whatever this is. I can't get the slightest thing. The day had been a little bit better. You know, I've done a few things and got them out of the way, but I hadn't been able to get hardly anything done. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not depressed about it. It's just, I'll work on it. I've only been going about 15 minutes. A lot of the reason I don't have a lot of money, I've never really cared about money. I mean, I care about it, but not like other people do. I've never believed it had anything to market. I've written songs. I know the right person, I can make millions of dollars with songs I've written. The problem is I don't have the motivation to do anything. I was a good salesman in my 20s and 30s and 40s, but I was basically mediocre. I didn't really try to make a lot of money, and I was never able, because of my mental health, I was never able to stay on a job long enough to get a 401k plan. In the 90s, I had a job for 5 years, and when I quit, I had $20,000. Well, I wouldn't have quit. I didn't really quit. The company went bankrupt. And then I had to spend that money to live on. So that's one time I had $20,000. So I haven't been able to do like other people do. They work 30, 40 years, and they save. And so, I'm pretty screwed right now as far as financially. I'm just living Social Security and whatever money I can come up with. And I just, I have ideas about writing a book. I have ideas about trying to market my music. And the biggest reason is I'm just overwhelmed with the technology. There's just so much technology, the equipment, the recorders. I don't do well with options, with all these different options, so nothing gets done, so, and the big thing is, I'm going to just be honest, loneliness sucks. I mean, I don't feel the pain from the loneliness that I did last year because of the experience that I had with that woman, but it still sucks. We're not supposed to be lonely, and especially for men. And that is basically what is bringing me down. It's just constantly not having anyone to talk to, not anyone to eat with or do things with. And I told you that I had a Facebook friend. She was a female. She was my age, 68 years old. She and I had lived in the same town 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and didn't even know it. And she was coming, of course, she had a boyfriend, an older, guy that she was living with down in Florida. And she was calling me about every other day, and we were talking on Messenger, and all of a sudden, it well, I ain't got time to talk today. I'll try to catch up with you. I don't know what happened. How she lost the spark. I mean, this was not a romantic spark, but it was good to talk to somebody.